Support for Radio Friends comes from La Brunerie Financial, where they work to ensure a lifetime of financial security for people from all walks of life, from investment services to retirement plans. If you're looking for a trustworthy company that has the experience and knowledge to put your interests first, contact La Brunerie Financial, a community-based investment counseling firm since 1966. Learn more at labrunerie.com or by calling 573-449-5313. Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Monday, November the 12th. A pleasure to have you with us today. And I have a young lady making her first appearance with us. This is Dasi Schlup. Did I pronounce it right?
Yes, you did.
All right, Dasi, good to have you here. And you are a social worker, the Neonatal Intensive Care Unit, MU Healthcare.
Correct.
As a social worker, what do you do?
So my job is to help the families adjust to having a baby in the intensive care unit, which in most cases is very unexpected and very difficult for families to adjust to.
Very emotional.
Very emotional.
How do you deal with that?
Well, the family has a lot to go through, and my job is to just help them through the steps. And the first step is to understand why the baby's there. Most people, like I said, have healthy pregnancies, don't expect this, and it's overwhelming. It's very high-tech. There's a lot of machines and equipment. Oftentimes the babies are very small.
Right.
They could be as small as a pound.
I know. We went into the neonatal intensive care unit years ago when we were doing the Pepper and Friends show, and some of those little babies would fit in the palm of your hand, which is it's unreal.
It is unreal.
And it's a very emotional situation.
And very helpless.
Yes.
I think one of the hardest things for parents is seeing their baby needing help or care and not being able to do a whole lot for them.
But it also has to be reassuring to the parents, knowing that the fact that the baby is in that neonatal intensive care unit, they're getting the best possible care that is humanly possible. And there's a very good chance that that baby is going to grow up and lead a healthy, normal life.
That is very true. I think day to day, that's a hard concept for parents initially to believe or feel. They're just so frightened, and they've probably never known anybody with a similar experience to compare. So while we are confident, we know what outcomes are, parents are usually so anxious and uncertain that until time passes and they see progress, it's a pretty lonely, isolated, and scary experience.
What is the most difficult part of your job?
Oh, that's a hard question. I would say the hardest part is when the outcomes are not going to be the best, and helping a family through the process sometimes of making difficult decisions, being grief-stricken, not just when a baby may not survive, but even with very complex medical problems. There's a grief process with that as well.
Mm-hmm. The most pleasant part of the job?
It's when it's a good outcome, and the parents go home and they're happy about everything, and it's very rewarding to see them, and even more so when they come back to visit, which they often do.
Oh, sure. I can imagine they would, because they feel such an attachment
there is a big
to the
attachment.
unit and to the people there.
Very much.
You have become part of their family.
Yeah, we often, with families that are there for a while, they're excited to go home, and then they get tearful, and they're like, why am I feeling this way? I'm happy to go home, but they're sad to leave the people who first got to know their baby.
Yes. Well, I congratulate you and salute you for the wonderful work that you do there, and for the love and the care that you show, both the babies and the parents. And I know it's got to be very taxing on you emotionally also.
It can be.
Yes.
Being in this position a long time, I've learned how to...
But rewarding also.
Very rewarding.
All right. Dasi, thank you so much for coming by. And if people want more information, the best thing they can do is go to the MU Healthcare website.
Yep.
All right?
Yeah.
Continued success with your job.
Thank you very much.
All right. Now, I want to introduce you to Mark Palmer and Terry Walden. And actually, they were two separate entities. One was EnCircle Technology and Woodhaven, but they're one now. The marriage took place this past summer, right? The merger of
Yes.
Woodhaven and
Yeah.
EnCircle Technologies. Tell me about that.
Yeah, well, we've been training young adults with autism for about 5 years now.
EnCircle Technologies.
Yes, EnCircle Technologies. And we just decided, we came to a point where we needed to find a really stable partner in our mission. And so we asked around, and lo and behold, one of those inquiring was Woodhaven.
And so, Mark, now that EnCircle Technology is part of Woodhaven, how has that affected your organization?
Well, I think what it does is obviously we've taken two very strong organizations that are supported by the community and brought them into one under Woodhaven, and Woodhaven's the organization, so it's EnCircle Technologies is a program of Woodhaven. What it does is it allows us to offer technology training and other vocational skills to some of the individuals that Woodhaven has served, but also a lot of new folks coming in through EnCircle Technologies may also need some maybe the residential programs that Woodhaven provides.
So it really is a perfect fit for both organizations.
Yeah, we were very pleased when we had the opportunity when Terry and the EnCircle board approached us about talking with them about it. It was just a natural fit from the beginning, and I think a lot of it has to do with the culture of the organizations. We believe that each individual is individualized and that we want them to reach their highest level of potential, not a cookie cutter program.
Right. So how many people who were just associated with Woodhaven are now dealing with EnCircle Technology?
Well, that number's to be determined yet right now. So currently, right now, Woodhaven serves over 100 individuals in our residential program. Some of those will be eligible for the EnCircle program, but a lot of those will be folks in the EnCircle that have already been in the program. We'll come back to that program, and then we'll have new individuals come in.
And some of the people that you've been working with would be eligible for Woodhaven also, correct?
Yeah, we're really looking towards the future with some of students like from the St. Louis area or rural Missouri and coming in, and that we can offer them some vocational training, but also some transitional housing through Woodhaven. So we're really excited about that. We didn't have that before, but because we're kind of a rare space and place to learn, we attract students from across the state. So I think it's going to be, just exceptional.
So when people would come from St. Louis or Kansas City to EnCircle, where would they stay then?
Well, we have some very devoted families, of individuals with autism or other educational barriers. And so they would stay in hotels or they would stay in Airbnbs. We had one student driving himself and spending the night in a hotel. So very devoted.
Well, I wish you success, continued success for both of you as you have merged together. So it's Woodhaven and EnCircle Technology, now one and the same.
Yep,
Okay.
that's right.
If people want more information, the website to go to, Mark, is
Woodhaventeam.org.
Woodhaventeam.org. Okay. Tomorrow, Fall into Art and the Voluntary Action Center. Something you'd like to see on here or hear? Drop me an email, pepperp@missouri.edu. Bye-bye.